Hi everyone, my name is Steph. This is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reset video for you for the month of November. Buckle in, get a drink, because this could get long. There's a lot of things happening in November and I have a ginormous pile of books sitting next to me that I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, get comfy. If you haven't seen one of my reset videos before, this is where I sort of wrap up the previous month and I set my intentions and my potential TBR for the upcoming month. Pause please, I'm going to pull the blinds down again because the light is getting ridiculous. Take two. We're still going to have light, but you know what, we're just going to roll with it. So November is the month of the Australian Readathon, so I have a stack of books that I'm going to talk about for that. But before we do, I'm going to wrap up what happened in October in terms of my reading, and then I'm also going to go through some of my favorites for the month. I will go through my November potential TBR. I do have some priority reads, and then everything else is basically going to be open season on Australian authors. I will still include the new releases that are on my radar, and then at the very end I will have my reading journal set up and I will have my filming schedule set up. I'm filming this on the 28th of October, so it's not quite the end of the month, so my October stats are not reflective of the entirety of the month because I will read at least 4 more books before the end of the month. But as of the 28th of October, I have read 47 books. I have read 11,235 pages, and of those 47 books, 3 were rereads for me this month. Normally, I would go through all of the books from my previous reset video TBR that I read and ask the question, did I read them? And the short answer is yes, I did actually read them. I currently have one more book that I'm in the middle of that was part of my main TBR, my priority TBR, and that is Masters of Death by Olivie Blake. So that I am about 2/3 of the way through now, and I will finish that before the end of the month. I'm not going to go through everything else that I read because this video is already going to be really long and feature a lot of books. So I have my reset video and I have my books beside my bed videos where I talk about all of the books, so you guys can see what I did and didn't read from my TBR. But I did a pretty good job this month because this is empty. Like, I didn't take anything out of this. There was nothing left in here, and there was only nothing left in it because my review copies came in late. Shh. So that said, what were my top books of October? I absolutely loved Gardens and Ghosts by Maddox, which was the final book in the Relic series, which is my paranormal romance dinosaur shifter queer romance love fest. I just love those books so much. Gardens and Ghosts was no exception and was just so adorable and fun and funny, and just a really great way to start the reading month because I think it was the first book I read in October. I also really loved The Cleaners by L.L. Frost, which I read for my Angels and Demons vlog, and I had the best time reading this. Like, I didn't know what to expect from it. Someone had recommended it to me. I can't remember who it was, so if it was you, I apologize. I've had it sitting on my KU TBR for months, and I finally read it, and like, it's not short. I think it's over 400 pages long, and I just sped the whole way through it. It features a polyamorous relationship. It is set in a world where the world now knows that demons and magic users exist, and this doesn't always go well. And Penn, Flint and Mark have a cleaning business, so they clean up demonic messes essentially, and they have this tenuous relationship with Detective Sharp, who works for the paranormal division of the police force. He's human, and he's kind of annoyed at them because for the longest time they kept the knowledge of the paranormal world secret from him, and now he knows, and he knows that they knew before him, and their relationship is complicated, and you can see that he's going to join sort of their group. The setup for this was just really cool and I loved it. I had a really great time with it. I've since read 2 prequel novellas to The Cleaners, and I'm definitely planning on continuing the series, although I might have to wait till December because the TBR is a bit out of control. I loved that, and I also loved Venice Actually by Kelly Reynolds, which is her most recent release. It is a novella-length holiday story, and it is fun and diverse and just a gorgeous little read, perfect for the holiday season. Absolutely loved this one. Which brings me to my priority reads for November. I have some books that I have to read. I have some books that I'm intentionally going to try and read, and then the rest of the TBR I'm just sort of going to share with you as things that I might pick up during the month if I feel like it. I'm literally going to just pile up a bunch of books and have them sitting there, and I can just pick and choose to my little mood reading heart's content if I get through everything else. So I do have an arc that I need to read fairly early in the month, and that's Dukes and Dekes by Tori. This is a hockey romance, and I'm excited to read this one. Oh, I actually have 2 arcs. I also have Delay of Game by Baran, which is another hockey romance. This one is coming from Carina Press. I think this is a NetGalley arc. Dukes and Dekes I received from a promotional team. So those 2 will get read. I'm still reading hockey romances, guys. I also have to read Steel's Edge by Ilona Andrews for our read-along. That read-along is on the, oh gosh, I want to say it's the 10th of November. Hold on. Yes, it will be on the 10th of November, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12 p.m. p.m. on the 11th of October, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Bree and I are going to try and read 10 Things That Never Happened by Alexis Hall as a buddy read. We haven't had an Alexis Hall buddy read for a while, so I'm excited. And then the rest of my priority reads are for the Australian Readathon. So if you don't know, I'm one of the co-hosts for the Australian Readathon. I will leave the announcement linked on the screen. I have a whole video with over 100 book recommendations for this readathon. There is a bingo board. I am not specifically setting books for the bingo board. I'm literally just setting all of my Australian author books as potentials, and I will see what I hit on the bingo board, which may or may not make me a terrible host, but that's where I am at this point in time. That said, there are a few books that I am specifically going to focus in on. The first one being The Boy from the Mish by Gary Lonesborough, which is a young adult Indigenous title. This is also queer, and this is our group book pick, and there is a read along for this from the 5th of November, I believe. So I will definitely 100% be reading this. I have read Gary Lonesborough's second book earlier in the year, so I'm really excited to dive into his first one. I am going to be rereading and annotating Not My Type by Evie Mitchell. This is going to be my annotation book for the month, just because I haven't reread it in ages. I got an audio copy from Evie. I do have a code for a free copy of the audiobook or the ebook. If you're interested, I will leave that in the description as well. I'm very excited to be coming back to this one. It also has orange on the cover, so this is indie Australian author, orange cover. Every month, my Bookish Stars members get to pick a book for our reading vlog. This month, I put in a bunch of Australian authors and Australian fiction, and the one that came up as the most popular choice is This All Come Back Now, an anthology of First Nations speculative fiction. First of all, have a look at this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one is edited by Mikaela Saunders. I'm really excited to get into this one. I think this one's going to be really fun and really enjoyable and something just a little bit different. So thank you for picking this. I will have this members vlog out hopefully in the first half of November. I'm also going to continue reading The Year I Met My Brain by Matilda Boseley. This one is a travel companion for adults who have just found out they have ADHD. I've started this. I am going to be dipping in and out of this throughout the entire month. So I'm hoping to finish it in November. I may not, but I'm going to definitely be reading it throughout the month. So that is also on the TBR because Matilda Boseley is Australian. She works for The Guardian and is just amazing. I love watching her content. The last lot of priority reads are actually 3 series. So earlier in the year, I had my 13 series that I'm going to finish before the end of the year. And 3 of those series are actually written by Australian authors. So I'm hoping to get a good way through what I have left of their books. When I finish Steel's Edge, I will also have ticked off another series off the list. So hopefully, I'm hoping this month I tick off 4 series, which leaves me with 1 book left at the end of the month. Will I do it? Who knows? So the first series that I'm going to try and finish is the Red Dirt Heart series by N.R. Walker. This is a queer, independently published series set in Outback Australia. There is orange on pretty much every cover. It is in a hot setting. N.R. Walker is a very easy read. I also have books 2, 3, and 4 in the Kings of Denver series by Sheridan Ann. These are college hockey romances. And probably the most ambitious part of this TBR is this stack of books from Lana Pecherczyk, which technically I think another one has come out since I got these at Rare, but my goal is to get through what I currently own and then I will order the next lot of books. I know Lana watched my recommendation video. If you happen to watch this one, Lana, this is my goal this month. I think that's probably the most ambitious part of the TBR because everything else is potential optionals. Like I want to get through the Fae Guardians series by Lana so badly. I want to catch up on it. It's like the only fantasy romance series that I'm reading. So essentially everything else now is just my potential TBR. This is what I can choose from on any given day, depending on how I feel. I suppose a couple that I'm going to try and prioritize. I do want to read Shield by Evie Mitchell. This is the 4th book in the Nameless Souls MC series. If I get this, I catch up on another series. So that would be amazing to do that. I have another speculative black and black fiction, Unlimited Futures. This one is by Rafief, Ismail, and Ellen van Neervan. And this is Own Voices, speculative fiction from First Nations peoples. I have The Jaguar by Sarah Holland Batt, which is a collection of prose. So this should be fairly quick and easy to get to. It would be a nice one to tick off. I recently bought The Visitors by Jane Harrison, which I think has recently been turned either into a musical or an opera or something like that. And this is a history of the colonization of Australia. So again, this would be really interesting to read. I probably should have put this on my priority TBR, but I do have Matthew Riley's new book. This is Mr. Einstein's Secretary. I'm always intrigued by Matthew Riley books. I'm hoping to get to this and we'll see how I go with it. I have a stack of junior and middle fiction by various authors. I won't go through all the titles because you'll probably hear about them throughout the month, but there's a stack on here including lots of First Nations voices. I do have a review copy that I didn't get to at the end of October, so we'll see how I go with that. Because I also grabbed a stack of Australian middle fiction from work. I don't know why I felt I needed more books to add to this TBR, but I just wanted to have variety, and because I'm going to be reading some of these also for my other channel, like just having them around is good. But I specifically want to read Exit Through the Gift Shop by Marianne Masters, who wrote No Words, which is my favourite middle grade book of the year so far, and recently won the Readings Kids Prize. This was her first book, and I haven't read it yet. And I also have some picture books, because of course I do. I definitely want to finish reading Young Dark Emu: A True History by Bruce Pascoe. This is the young readers edition. There is like a grown-up version, but I want to read the kids version. I've actually read bits and pieces of this for work. It's one of my mentor texts, but I haven't had a chance to read it from cover to cover, so I would like to read that this month. I picked up Jumping Joeys at a market recently, and I just love this author. I do have Listen by Duncan Smith and Nicole Godwin, and illustrated by Jandamara Cad. This is their newest release, and I would like to prioritize this because their last one was amazing. And then I'm going to insert a little very short clip here of the rest of the stack of Australian authors that I own that I have not read yet. They are also potentials. They're currently sitting behind here. And given the amount of books that I'm going to be piling up in front of my TV for the next month, I figured I should probably not move absolutely everything. There's a lot. I've got a lot going on this month, a lot of books to read. And we haven't even talked about the potential new releases. So I'm pretty sure we can say that most of these new releases I will probably not get to this month. Actually, no, sorry. I lie. Let's just go through the list and then I'll order my thoughts. In November, the new releases that I am intrigued by. So there's I'm Your Guy by Serena Bowen. Now, I think this is a sequel to a new series that she started. I have not read Serena Bowen. This is a hockey series. So it's on my radar and I will probably add it to my future TBR list. I'm probably not going to pick it up this month, but it is something that I am keeping an eye on. There's Haunted by the Dragon by Lillian Lark, which comes out on November 3rd. And I have read it. I've already read it and I have reviewed it. So hallelujah, that's a tick. There's a new Holy Knights novella coming out by Lee Jacko, which comes out on November the 7th. I will probably read that because it will be short and quick and easy to read. As I said, I have An Arc of Dukes and Deeks by Tori Jean. This also comes out on November 7th, so I have to read it before then. Delay of Game by Ari Baran comes out on the 14th, and I will have to read that before then. And then the other book that is on my radar for the moment is Do Your Worst by Rosie Dannon, because I've enjoyed Rosie Dannon before and I would like to read this, but this book may get pushed back into December with the way the rest of this month is going. All right, so I'm not going to be pulling any more annotation cards or doing any more spinner wheels because I think I've got enough going on. I think this is a lot. Why do I do this to myself? Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you guys are going to participate in the Australian Readathon, even if you only read one book by an Australian author in November. That would thrill me. I am going to be hosting a bunch of reading sprints throughout the month. I have tried to put some in the evening so they are suitable for people in my time zone. I've also tried to schedule some earlier in the day so that if you are in the Northern Hemisphere in different time zones, that hopefully somewhere in there is a time that kind of works for you. So I will leave the times for all of those down below. They've all been scheduled so you can find them on my upcoming lives page on my YouTube channel. Feel free to come and join in. We'd love to have you. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'd love to know what you are planning on reading in November. Feel free to share all of the things you're excited about picking up down below. As soon as I finish this wrap up, I'm going to have footage of my filming schedule, my reading journal, and anything else that I've got left to share with you for the month. I hope that you enjoy it. Feel free to use the timestamps down below to jump around to whatever you're interested in. I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.